I am Ingrid Nielsen. I'm the head of communications for Let's Do It World. And tonight I invited here to speak a little further. I know we've had a lot of sessions about cigarette butts already, solutions, problems, all of the things. But tonight here in this session, we'll try and really get down to how to get the message across that it's a huge problem, because as we know, majority of people do not really recognize that it is a problem. So we have here Jason Alexander from Rubbish Walks, I can't speak anymore, from UK. Then we have here Bodil Fosgaard, she's from Denmark. She has also amazing things to share. And then we have Miquel. Miquel is currently in Poland, and he'll be talking a little bit further about his activities as well. Let's start. So I'll go first. We've really heard a lot about different things that people have done, but we haven't really spoken what we did, because we did do our little bit. So I'll tell you how we ended up talking about cigarette butts for World Cleanup Day, and then how we did it. Of course, our scope is a little bit different, because we are in the headquarters here, we represent the world. So we try to have more global messages, not so much concentrated on activities and more on awareness. These are actually our 3 pillars. What is our role as a huge organization is to empower, educate, and engage. So today I'll concentrate a little bit on that, how we did that for this campaign. And because we're continuing with the cigarette butts issue, we will be adding more things to it as well, of course. And we are actually developing all of our messages, all of our activities based on the feedback that we receive. So I'll try to be really brief. So why? Small thing, huge problem. I think all of you here, yes, you all know how big of a problem it is and how little it is known. And one of the things that came out with this campaign this year as well, when we started it, we were like, okay, so but how can we make this problem be seen? So we really try to concentrate around that. And internet is a powerful thing, because as soon as we started looking into the matter, we actually started getting a lot of feedback from people who have taken this issue at their hearts. We started getting photographs sent in from photographers all over the world. This one is one of my favorites. It's actually from Estonia, and it really helped us carry the message across that even though Estonia, you don't have that much litter issue, you can't see it, then it doesn't matter that it's not, it doesn't really mean that it's not here. It is here, and it affects our own wildlife as well. This is actually one of the things that we found, that this is more like a country experience, that if something is local, then it helps carry the message across. And I'm sure, I know some of our speakers will be getting into that later as well. So this photograph actually made quite a few rounds in Estonia, because it's taken in our backyard. So yep, that's why. So one of our, as I said, one of our pillars or roles is educating. Reasons right there. One of the really strong message that we try to put across is that even though we say that it takes 15 years for a cigarette butt to break down in nature, it's not actually it's not biodegradable. It doesn't biodegrade. Biodegrade is something that compost does, but you can't throw cigarette butts into the compost. They just become microplastics. And we started talking about this more and more, and we found that we really need more specific words, because we can't use terms like biodegradable or non-biodegradable. It doesn't carry the message across. It doesn't tell. So this year going forward, we will really try to even create this kind of like a library of knowledge. You heard about this in a previous session, but also about introducing the correct terms to talk about things, because a lot of our vocabulary doesn't allow us to really understand the issue at heart. So thank you very much to Jason, by the way. We nicked those measurements from from his website and made them look like they're ours. But this is also one of the things that we got back from people, is that they don't realize how many cigarette butts you can fit into a chip bag or into a builder's bucket. Or this again was something that sort of gave people an idea that if you can fill a beans can in 15 minutes with cigarette butts, and that means you collected 200 cigarette butts, it was really a powerful way for them to understand what a huge problem it is. Okay, going forward, empowering. While we were doing our research, we really found so many people who are already doing their bit, and that's how we found all the participants to this workshop today as well. And by sharing their stories, we understood. We've always known this, but we didn't know how to integrate this, or we didn't know that there were such people out there. By showing their stories, by telling their stories, we really got a lot of people engaged. That was one of the things that got the most feedback on our social media. People started sharing. And as we can see, the result is that we're all here together and we can continue telling the stories, and we keep finding new people who are already activists and picking up the cigarette butts and fighting against them, etc. So it's an old marketing trick, but something that we could really put into use, because it's also something that like lots of people do cleanups, but very few actually concentrate on one item only. And even though all of you also pick up all sorts of rubbish, you've made cigarette butt as your focus as well. You've chosen this thing, and that helps telling your stories, and it helps actually showing people why they should care. And then engaging. So Silver is author here. I didn't want to show you videos because I know they don't transfer well, but the videos that Zavod created for us actually got a lot of views on YouTube. Children seem to love them. And we know that in Estonia, they engaged actually school children to pick up cigarette butts. In a lot of the countries, children are usually not among the cleanup crews because there are safety and health concerns. And we had a collaboration also with Earth Speaker, which is an app for children this year. And they actually sent us, they forwarded us the messages that children had recorded of their experience with cigarette butts. There was a lot of plastics, of course, but they did do this because, you know, kids go out on the playground and they play in the dirt and in the parks and on the beach, and they are the direct victims of the cigarette butts. We actually had an Australian filmmaker share his very nice short movie with us, highlighting the same thing. Besides hurting our nature, ending up in our food, blah, blah, blah. No, okay, it's really late. In our food. Can someone help me, please? Well, it ends up in our food, in microplastics. Okay, so it actually is noted by children, and I'm sure any parent, I can bet on you, has at some point in their children's lives pulled a cigarette butt out of their child's mouth and said, "You can't eat that." So it's something that if you show it, that this is an issue, especially parents start noticing as well that this is something that needs to be tackled right now. Another thing that we are really glad that they did here in Estonia as well is the C Starts Here campaign. And I have to say that it has, in the last couple of months, it has really picked up in the world as well. It started in France, then I've seen some smaller communities do it, but we don't claim that the honor of spreading the message, but I think it really did get some attention as well, due to the fact that we picked up the same campaign and highlighted it. And now we have lots of little communities all around the world who are planning to, or already done this campaign as well. And then, of course, here you can see the photograph of Estonia's president. We actually found that talking about cigarette butts, something that seems so irrelevant, but is actually such a close issue, brings in people who usually maybe wouldn't engage with your mission. So that was another thing that we really found. And through them, through these spokespeople, through these people who hold some sort of status in their country, in their field, we could really reach many more people. So that's it from me. I won't bother you with any numbers or anything further. I wanted to just bring out these facts, why we think that the Cigarett Butt campaign was really successful for us and for the world. And we're really hoping that by continuing this mission, one day we will change this. Thank you. And I'll hand it over to now. You have to choose who gets to go next. Who feels...
Ingrid, there's a specification related to the Australian filmmaker.
Yes, I can, Ali, I can't remember right now from the top of my head. I can't remember, but I will get that name for you. I will start looking as soon as I'm off the hook. See, here's our cigarette butt. Say hi, everyone. Thank you, Raivo. All right, Miguel, did you? You said hi. Would you like to go next, Miguel? I know you have some slides. Yeah, go. Your turn.
Okay, let's start. So I'm going to share here my presentation. Okay, can you see the slide, everyone? Yeah, okay. Yeah, perfect. Let's start. In 2016, I was living in Barcelona, and I realized that there were so many cigarette butts on the ground. And I decided that I wanted to give 1 hour of my time for free every day. So I said, I'm going to pick up some cigarette butts. Do you imagine there are people, they walk the dog, and me, instead of walking the dog, I was walking this big bottle full of cigarettes that I collected in the beach of Barceloneta. My name is Miquel Garau. I am the founder of No Mas Colillas en el Suelo, and today I have, I think, 7 minutes to inspire you with 3 strategies to empower you to be very successful in your campaigns against this big problem, cigarette butts. So we're going to talk about the message, mountain of shame and chalk of shame. Let's go for it. First of all, I encourage people to collect cigarette butts. I think it's a good way to make people notice the problem, to talk about the problem. And of course, if you don't want to look like a crazy person, I recommend you to write on your t-shirt, love the planet, no more cigarette butts on the ground, whatever you want, but put a message on the bottles or on your t-shirt. So here are my dogs. I was walking by with these bottles full of cigarettes, and it was more and more I was collecting and keeping them on my balcony. So it was smelling so hard, and I decided, okay, we have to do something with that. So what better to spread the message than doing it together with more people? As you see here, it's not only one person giving the message, it's more people. We are jumping and we are shouting, no more cigarette, no more cigarette. We got the attention of all media, so more and more people knew about that because we were doing an activity about collecting cigarette butts. This picture went viral. Everyone was sharing this picture for many reasons. As you see, the beautiful picture is Mallorca behind me. Every time I go to the beach, I collect cigarettes before entering to the water. And I'm carrying all cigarettes that I already collected. But the most important thing here is people were saying that I was a famous rapper. people were saying that I was collecting cigarette butts in Greek. I never been in Greek island. I am from Mallorca, but the the here the message: the planet is not an ashtray. This is the message I want people to copy and reply, and that's the most important. People were saying it's not good to litter and to throw cigarettes on the ground. So people carry those cigarettes, go everywhere with them, and make people see. Okay, can you guess why I went under cigarettes here? Yeah, again, I had a message to give. Tobacco is killing people and the environment. Tobacco kills 7 million people per year. That's a lot. And the damage on the environment is so big that I was thinking maybe picking up cigarette butts is not enough. Maybe we have to do something new. So let's go with the second strategy to fight cigarette butt pollution. It's called Mountain of Shame, and it's about putting all cigarette butts together, but this time out of the plastic bottles. So here you are. I think this is very powerful. All these cigarettes were collected in Mallorca beaches, one by one, in a place that kids play. I think tobacco is not welcome. But in this case, we were cleaning, we were showing the problem, and we had all media attention. This is called Mountain of Shame. And I ask all leaders, all people that were already collecting cigarettes, please do the chalk of shame. The Mountain of Shame. So this is Mallorca. We reached 260,000 cigarette butts in only 10 days. And many, many beaches. Let's go here. You see, the idea went across different countries. It went to Mexico. It went to Argentina. It went to Barcelona. And here we have Jason Alexander that will be talking with us today from Rubbish World. He also did this mountain with this 150,000, but I know Jason Alexander can do right now a mountain near to 1 million if he wants. And here we have another guy here from Belgium, our leader, John Paul. Here the Belgians went crazy. In 2 hours, this is one day, 2 hours, they pick up 270,000 cigarette butts with only 240 volunteers. That's a lot. Okay, and this is Poland. And always I say, if you do something and you want to be in the fight, always with love. This is my girlfriend. Without her support, without the smiling, I will lose all my energy. But people, here it comes the most important. Okay, sorry, the last slide. Do you know this flag, where it's coming from, this picture? This is Galapagos, the most protected island with the giant turtles, a place where it's supposed that all the scientists protect the animals, and almost 1 million cigarettes collected for only one man that is 70 years old, Miquel and the Ghana. So let's go with the last strategy that I think you're gonna love it. After years, 4 years of collecting cigarette butts and showing mountains of shame, I say, okay, I'm not going to collect any more cigarettes. I'm done with it. Chalk of shame. Get the chalk and circle the cigarettes. Everything started with Patrick Perriguet, a friend of mine. I saw a picture that he circled a cigarette, and I say, oh man, now you cannot walk, you can walk without seeing the cigarette. So chalk is not harmful for the environment, not for the animals. It's a tool for the kids, something to play with. So I decided I'm going to chalk all cigarettes that I find in the bus station in Poland, where I live right now. And this is how it looks, amazing. Chalk of shame is to educate the smokers not to throw the cigarette. Please, in this campaign, in this challenge, don't pick up the cigarettes. We need people to see. We need people to start talking about that problem. And I think you will agree with me. If you go clean up cigarette butts, 2 days later, cigarettes reappear again. It's like people don't learn. So we need to go and educate. So if you want to become a professional teacher, you need your chalk, guys. Here you are, more examples. And this is how it looks. You're gonna see the cigarettes. We need to fix the problem right now. And between one picture and the other, something was missing. Here we don't have the message, and here we have the message in Polish that say cigarettes on the ground. I discovered that there was a problem here. People that are not from Poland are missing the meaning of that. So I went with a new idea. Don't write, draw. So here you have the sign that say attention, cigarette butts. That's next to my home. And the reaction of people is amazing, is always good. And I can tell you, go with chalk and express yourself. Here you are an example that, do you think we need more trash bins? I don't think we need more trash bins. We need to educate people, because we actually have a lot of trash bins, but people are not using them. So Chalk of Shame started 3 months ago, and the Indians love it, and they started doing Chalk of Shame, and it was amazing. It was like, how is it possible? This is really working. I was picking up cigarette butts and never get so much attention. So Indians took it, and here you are, the Germans. Germans call it not Chalk of Shame, but Circle of Shame, and here you are. Schamkreise. Schamkreise sounds powerful. This is the action of only one person, and you can see one of the other benefits of Chalk of Shame. You go to your home, but the message is still on the street, and it will be for some days. As you know, the cigarette in the middle of the circle is going to stay more than 10 years. So you better get scared about letting the cigarette, but not the chalk. Chalk is a tool for the kids to have fun, and chalk helps to people, to dads, educate the kids. The kids always say, what is that, Dad? And they start talking about cigarette butt. That's fantastic to educate people. And of course, also in Poland, you cannot smoke in a bus station. So here I put smoking in the bus station is prohibited. I put the sign. So I remember people that it's not possible to smoke there, especially in COVID situation. We all wearing the mask, and as smokers putting the mask down. That's incredible. So this is the last slide. This is how it looks from Patrick Perrier, the one that started the action. You go to the balcony and you see all cigarettes that people throw on the ground. I can tell you, if you are a smoker and you are going to throw a cigarette, there are going to be a person circling your cigarette and make people see that we need to fix this problem. We're going to have as many circles as cigarettes have on the ground. Before the chalk, nobody could see the problem. Now everyone can see Petena Jamie, that means cigarette butts on the ground. Thank you very much. And if you want to follow me, my name is Miquel Garau Ginard. The page No Más Colillas en el Suelo on Facebook is in Spanish. Chalk of Shame. If you want to create your own page, we need people to do their own actions in their cities, showing the problems in their cities with the people of their cities. Thank you very much, and I hope you like it.
Thank you, Miquel. I would suggest that we leave all the questions and topics afterwards. Let's get through these presentations as quickly as we can, and then have a discussion. So, could I can't see who's. Let's see. Bodil, would you like to go next? We haven't heard from you at this conference yet, so it would be lovely to hear from you. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, I will do that. Thank you very much for inviting me to this conference. And yes, Ingrid, as you said, to all of you, if you have noticed earlier today, there was a keynote speaker session where there were no women represented. Actually, there were 8 men. So I'm talking on behalf of the whole wide world's women. So please join us here. I have a little story for you. And join me on this fairy tale, for this is a little fairy tale from me. So I will share my screen here with you in a moment. So my name is Bodil, and I live in Denmark, and I started my project back in 2017. I'm the founder of Skodbevægelsen, Green Movement, and Garbage Run, and several other initiatives in Denmark. But in 2019, I started to focus on cigarette butts. As we all know, it's a big problem, but how do we solve it? So I was thinking about how can I do something about this, because I knew that if I wanted to use all my time on this, I wanted to make it fun while I was doing it. But I also wanted to make people aware of the problem and make a bigger impact. So this is a little fairy tale from Denmark. Have you ever heard about the Little Mermaid, which is a fairy tale, a very famous fairy tale? And this, on the left side, we have Queen Margaret in Denmark. So we are a country with many traditions. So we have two queens in Denmark. We have the crowned queen, which is called Margaret, and the uncrowned cigarette butt queen is me. People laugh, I laugh of it, but that's my name in Denmark. They call me the uncrowned queen of cigarette butts. I will now show you what I did here last year. We had a big campaign in Denmark, and this is the Little Mermaid. This is my fairy tale of the Little Mermaid in a new version, because I wanted to show people that, you know, this piece of litter, it becomes very, very big, and it ends up in the ocean as microplastic. So I took all the cigarette butts I had been collected for over a year together with other people, and we just put it out on a very big platform, and we just put the Little Mermaid in the middle of it. This is how I try to make people aware of the pollution problem. I'm something like an activist, but I'm also an artist. I'm not educated at any artist school. This is totally homemade, that I have found out of how to make people aware of the pollution problem. So we all know that this is not a small, but a big problem. So I create statements that are visual and powerful. I will show you now how I play with my words, because as you can see here, it says small but, and then you have the B-U-T and the T for the but in between. And then I made, this is how I do it. I create statements where I write things down in my book, and then I try to create it. So this is actually the statement in the middle of Copenhagen. It's about 3 meters long and about 10 meters wide. So you can see that this is another way to use the cigarette butts as a kind of activism. I pick them up, I make art out of them, and then people, they just stop. Hundreds, thousands of people come, and they will take pictures of it, and then they will share it all over the world. So actually, I don't know where my pictures ends up, because it could end in Japan or Nairobi or wherever. And this is my way of trying to speak. I let the bots speak the message. So people need to stop up and look at it, and they are very interested in the message. So that's the way I work with the problem. So I have a special way of doing this, a kind of nudging. So what I would like to talk with you about is actually that I am about to create this green movement. And I want to reach out for other people in the world, because I would like you to become a part of the green movement, which is about something, it comes down from the earth. We rise something bigger. It's bigger than us. We need to act on this problem. And my vision and Green Movement's vision is to create a cigarette butt-free environment. So I will try to show you a little bit more about what I have been doing, because what we would like to focus on, we want to inspire people, we want to move people. We have a strong strategy because we know what we can use to make an impact. And then we have some tactics for the future. We want to be a part of the solution instead of be a part of the problem. So we work with the United Nations goals because we know this is a partner. We want to reach out for partnerships. And this is about creating a better life on Earth for people. And we want to create a better life for the fish and other species in the ocean. So today, today I picked up in very shortly about 70, 80 cigarette butts. And I had created this for you. Let's do it, world, because I wanted to show that it doesn't take a lot of time to go out and pick some cigarette butts, but it takes a lot of time to create a very, very big statement. So actually this for me is to reach out to other people out there and to talk about the various ways we use. We have a variation of I do something, Jason do something, Miquel does it in a third way, and then we have perhaps people we don't know yet who's doing it in another way. So I think if we can combine this and we can work together, we can make a great impact in how to reach out and make people aware of this problem. So I work with workshops, I do workshops, I go out, I do this with kids. I was out with 500 kids who got in the television, national television, and I have been in several magazines and interviews, radio, about the project. And I think what I found out of that, it doesn't take very much to do something, you know, but it's the tactic is very important. What is the message about what you're doing it? Why are you doing it? So I let the kids here, they were a climate group. They, of course, had gloves on, and then they made a message statement where they came in the television with it. So I just want to say that this is my way of showing how to people can use art as a kind of activism, but also to make a bigger impact. So I really hope that this just shows you out there that we can join together, do something bigger by using the way of different ways to collaborate. So this is my way to reach out to all of you to join up, and that we can share ideas, and hopefully we can inspire other people to do the same thing. If you have any questions, just ask, or I understood from Ingrid, we do it in the last. Yeah, well, I don't think there will be so much more. Hey, this is not my dog.
Someone's dog wants attention.
But you know, I think we all know it's a big problem, but the smokers obviously don't see it as a problem. They don't see themselves as being a part of the problem. And if the smokers don't see themselves being a part of it, how is it possible to show them? So what I found out of, that smokers actually like the way of doing this because it's positive, it has humor. I use a lot of sarcasm and humor in my messages, and people like that because then they are more into change their habits. If you go like this, they will